Most people get this wrong when they try to start a company in Hungary. They assume it is just like registering a business online in the US or UK, where you click a few buttons, upload documents, and you are done. But Hungary works very differently, and this is exactly where most beginners get stuck, delayed, or even rejected. Here's the truth no one tells you up front. Starting a company in Hungary is actually very structured, very legal heavy, and if you follow the right steps, it can be surprisingly smooth. But if you miss even one requirement, like the registered office rules or notarized documents, your application can be rejected and you lose weeks of time. Now here is exactly what you are going to learn in this video. You will understand how company registration in Hungary actually works in 2026. What type of company foreigners usually choose, the exact step-by-step process from idea to fully registered business, what documents you need, how long it takes, how much it costs, and the biggest mistakes people make that delay their approval. By the end, you will have a clear roadmap that you can actually follow without confusion. And we are starting right away with the most important question. Because before anything else, you need to understand what kind of company you should even open in Hungary. Now here's where most people fail. They jump straight into registration without choosing the right structure. In Hungary, the most common and practical company type for foreigners is called a KFT, which is short for Korlátolt Felelősségű Társaság. You don't need to remember the full name, just think of it as the Hungarian version of a limited liability company. It is similar to an LLC in the US, or a private limited company in the UK. A KFT is popular because it protects your personal assets. That means if your business runs into debt or legal issues, your personal savings are generally not at risk. This is a huge reason why most foreign entrepreneurs choose this structure. But here's the interesting part. Hungary also allows simpler structures, but they are not commonly used for international business setups. So in 2026, if your goal is freelancing, online business, consulting, e-commerce, or even a small startup, the KFT is almost always the default choice. Now, let's move into something even more important. Before you can register anything, Hungary requires a few legal foundations to be in place. And this is where many people get surprised. First, you need a registered office address inside Hungary. This is mandatory. You cannot register a company without it. Now you might be thinking, do I need to physically live in Hungary for this? The answer is no. Many service providers offer registered office services, which means your company has a legal address even if you operate remotely from another country. But here's the catch. That address is not just a formality. It is legally important. Government mail, tax documents, and official notices will go there. So you need a reliable provider. Now let's move to the next key requirement. You also need a company director. In Hungary, a foreigner can be the director. You do not need to be a Hungarian citizen. But you do need proper identification, usually a passport, and in many cases notarized documents depending on your country of residence. And here's where things get interesting again. Many people think they can complete everything online instantly. But Hungary still relies heavily on legal intermediaries like lawyers or legal representatives for company registration. In most cases, you will need a Hungarian lawyer or authorized agent to submit your registration. Now here's a small curiosity loop for you. In a minute, I will show you the exact step-by-step registration process that actually gets your company approved without delays. Because this is where most applications either succeed smoothly or get stuck for weeks. But before that, let's talk about capital requirements. To start a standard KFT in Hungary, you typically need a minimum share capital. Traditionally, this has been around 3 million Hungarian forints, which is roughly several thousand euros depending on exchange rates. However, the important detail is that you don't always need to deposit the full amount immediately in cash at the start. In many cases, part of it can be contributed later, depending on structure and legal setup. Now here's where people get confused. They think this is a fee. It is not a fee. It is company capital. It belongs to the business, not the government. Now let's move into the actual step-by-step registration process, because this is the core of everything. Step 1 is choosing your company name. This sounds simple, but there are rules. The name must be unique in Hungary and cannot be misleading or already registered. Your lawyer or registration service usually checks this in the official database before proceeding. And here's a retention moment you need to pay attention to. The next step is where most delays actually happen, and it has nothing to do with your idea or business model. Step 2 is preparing the founding documents. This includes the Articles of Association. This document defines how your company operates, who owns it, what percentage of shares each person has, and how decisions are made. It must follow Hungarian legal formatting, which is why most people use a lawyer instead of doing it themselves. Now here's the problem. If even one clause is incorrect or incomplete, your registration gets rejected. That means you lose time, and sometimes you have to restart parts of the process. Step 3 is signing the documents. In most cases this must be done in front of a lawyer in Hungary. However, in some modern setups, remote signing or notarization options may be available depending on your country and legal service provider. Now here's where it gets interesting again. Once the documents are signed, your lawyer submits the application to the Hungarian Company Court electronically. This is the official authority that approves company formation. Step 4 is tax registration. Once your company is approved, it receives a company registration number and a tax number. This is essential because without a tax number you cannot legally issue invoices. And here's something most beginners don't realize. Hungary has a structured tax system for companies, and depending on your setup, you may be subject to corporate tax, local business tax, and potentially VAT registration if you exceed thresholds or operate in certain sectors. Now let's pause for a second because this is important. Many people rush into VAT registration too early or too late, and both can create problems. In a minute, I will explain how to know when you actually need it. Step 5 is opening a business bank account. This is required for full operation. Your share capital is usually deposited into this account, and all business transactions flow through it. Now here's a real-world example. Imagine Alex, a freelance software developer from India. He opens a Hungarian KFT to work with European clients. Once his company is registered, he opens a business bank account, receives payments from clients in Germany and France, and invoices them legally under his Hungarian company. This is one of the main reasons entrepreneurs choose Hungary, because it provides access to the EU market. Now let's talk about timing because people always underestimate this. In a smooth case, company registration in Hungary can take around 1 to 2 weeks. But if documents are incomplete, or there are legal issues, it can take longer. The key factor is preparation. The more accurate your documents, the faster the approval. Now here's another important retention point. The biggest hidden mistake is not legal paperwork. It is choosing the wrong service provider or setup structure at the beginning. Because fixing it later can cost much more time and money than doing it correctly from day one. Now let's move into costs. The cost of starting a company in Hungary depends on several factors. You will typically pay for legal services, registered office services, government fees, and sometimes translation or notarization costs. While the exact number varies, most setups fall into a predictable range, depending on complexity and service level. But here's what really matters. The cost of mistakes is much higher than the cost of setup. A rejected application, missing document, or incorrect structure can delay your business for weeks or even months. Now let's talk about ongoing obligations, because starting the company is only the beginning. Once your company is active, you need to comply with accounting and tax reporting requirements. In Hungary, companies are required to maintain proper bookkeeping and submit financial reports annually. Many foreign founders hire local accountants to handle this, because the system must follow Hungarian accounting standards. And here's something important. Even if your company has no revenue, you still need to submit reports. This is where many beginners get caught off guard. Now let's address VAT because this is a common question. You do not automatically need VAT registration in Hungary unless your business exceeds certain thresholds or operates in specific conditions. However, if you plan to work with EU clients, VAT considerations become important early in your planning. Now here is a final retention moment before we wrap up. There is one strategic advantage of Hungary that many people overlook. It is not just about registration speed or cost. It is about access to the European Union business environment. Once your company is registered in Hungary, you can operate within the EU market more easily compared to many non-EU jurisdictions. Now, let's quickly summarize everything. To start a company in Hungary in 2026, you choose a KFD structure, secure a registered office, prepare legal documents, sign with a lawyer, register with the company court, receive your tax number, open a bank account, and then maintain proper accounting and compliance. Each step is structured, but manageable, if done correctly. The biggest takeaway is this: Hungary is not complicated if you follow the system. It becomes complicated only when you skip professional guidance or ignore legal requirements. And now you have a clear roadmap from idea to fully registered company. If you found this guide useful, make sure to like the video, leave a comment with your questions, and subscribe because in upcoming videos, I will break down how to actually run and scale a company inside Europe, including taxation strategies, banking setups, and real client acquisition systems that work in 2026.